Hello, welcome to the DFWI Report Deep Dive. In this video, we will be using this report to outline the steps that we take to answer the questions. Over the past 3 full academic years, what were the top 3 courses of highest DFWI rate for classes larger than 10 at the UCORE 2000 level? What courses had the highest rate of failed grades? Information on courses with high rates of DFWIs, D grades, F grades, withdrawals, and incompletes may provide information on barriers to persistence and illuminate needs for additional tutoring or other interventions. This information may also be helpful for future class planning. The report may look slightly different due to new developments, but we are hoping that by showing our steps on how we can use this report to answer these questions, it will give you a sense of how this report could help you. Let's get started. Here, we can see what the report looks like when we first open it. If your screen looks a little different than mine, that's okay. You should have access to the same Power BI tools and report functionality, and please reach out if you still have any questions after watching this video. We can see the report and that it is broken into 2 parts, a section for slicers and a section for data visualizations. Let's start with our first question. Over the past 3 full academic years, what were the top 3 courses of highest DFWI rate for classes larger than 10 at the UCORE 2000 level? Starting on this question, we'll need to adjust a few slicers. Our question first focuses on the past 3 full academic years. It looks like our report has been recently updated with student information from spring quarter, so we can include academic year 2021-22 in our slicer. Had we looked at this question before this update, we would have needed to exclude academic year 2021-22 and include academic year 2018-19 instead, since that would create a 3 completed academic year trend. We'll open the academic year pull-down slicer and select the boxes for academic year 2021-22, 2020-21, 2019-20. We'll then click out of the slicer to close it. Next, we'll look at our class size group slicer. Since we are looking at the percentage of students with DFWI, we would need to look at larger class sizes, so we'll focus our view to classes with more than 10 students. We can see that this selection has already been applied by default in our report, and we can double check that it's been applied by opening the slicer. It looks like the correct selection has been applied, so let's click out of the slicer to close it. Finally, to help with our understanding of this report, we're going to choose a set of courses, classes at the UCORE 2000 level. We don't mean to shine light on this for any particular reason, but we will need to choose a set to look into for the purposes of this video. Looking at this set of courses means we'll have to apply 2 different slicers, the UCORE flag slicer and the course level slicer. We'll open the UCORE flag slicer here, apply UCORE, click out of the slicer, and then open the course level slicer, select 2000, and click out of it. The visualizations have changed as we applied our slicers, so let's move below. Below the slicers, we have 2 data visualizations. On the left here, we have a vertical bar graph, and on the right, we have a spreadsheet of information. Looking at the bar graph, we can see that each bar is color-coded to respective data point percentages, and the course and section name is listed below. We can also scroll horizontally through the data. The spreadsheet on the right reflects the same data as the bar graph, but it allows us to be more flexible with how we want to focus the data. We can click on any of the columns to reorganize the data, and we can click on any of the rows to focus down on them in both visualizations. Along with specific course identifying information and the DFWI rates, the spreadsheet also lists class sizes and counts for reference. You may have noticed that we've also blurred some sections of both visualizations. This is to protect sensitive information within the report for this training video. Since our question is focused on DFWI rates, we'll click on the DFWI column to reorganize the data to match our question. It looks like we have our data visualizations representing what we're looking for, so let's find our takeaways. Our spreadsheet here has identified our courses with the highest DFWI rate. UCORE 2100 Section 15 in 22 winter quarter had 36.36%. UCORE 2900 Section 1 in 21 summer quarter had 33.33%. And UCORE 2100 Section 12 in 21 fall quarter had 26.67%. We should also keep in mind that the DFWI rate is calculated as the sum of each status percentage, and we can see their values to the right of it. Let's take a look at the second question so we can see how this data point compares to another. What courses had the highest rate of failed grades? For this question, we are looking at the same group of courses, so we don't need to change any slicers. To shout out a useful tool, if we needed to clear a slicer, we could click on the eraser icon on the top right corner of any slicer, but we won't need to do this right now. Since our question is focused on the rate of failed grades, we'll reorganize the table by clicking on the % failed column to rearrange our rows from highest to lowest percentage. It's a little hard to read on my screen right now, so let's click on this icon to expand the visualization into focus mode and make it a bit easier to read. Our spreadsheet here has identified our courses with a failing grade rate. UCOR 2900 Section 2 in 21 summer quarter is at 25%. UCOR 2500 Section 11 in 22 winter quarter is at 20%. And UCOR 2100 Section 15 in 22 winter quarter is at 18.18%. We should also note that UCOR 2900 Section 2's DFWI rate is only composed of failing grades, and UCOR 2500 Section 11's DFWI rate is composed of mostly failing grades and a withdrawal. By comparing this to what we found in the previous question, we can find other interesting takeaways. UCOR 2100 Section 15 in 22 winter quarter led with the highest DFWI rate, but was third for highest fail grade percentage. UCOR 2900 Section 1 and UCOR 2100 Section 12 both had high DFWI rates, but neither were in the top 3 for fail grade percentage. It looks like we found the answers to our questions, and this would be a good place to create a bookmark or export the results for later analysis. Thank you for taking the time to watch this training video. Be sure to check the Inform SU training pages for more resources and information. We're working hard to build out more content aimed at specific reports, so please send any questions, comments, or feedback to informsu@seattleU.edu. Thank you again from the Inform SU team, and good luck!